What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious, and I am here with your Week 2 Premier Fantasy Football League report. Um, we're gonna go ahead and try to rush through these. I'm a little behind. We're in Week 5 now in the Premier Madden League. I'm in Week 2 of my fantasy report. I already got the templates for Week 3, so hopefully I could get that out by tomorrow, and then come Sunday I could maybe get Week 4 out there, and then I'd be all caught up, waiting for Week 5 to complete, and then we'll get the Week 5 video out. I'm also gonna have another pretty much series just like Cookie Boy has, Finn has, Natural, Gooseneck, nice little series like that. I'm gonna try to get that done on top of that, so we'll see if I'm able to do it. But once I catch up, I think it'll be a lot of relief. But here's our Week 2 fantasy report. We're gonna dive right into the pick'ems. We have 3 pick'ems this week, 3 competitors. Me is Nefarious, Mally Rojo, and Fallen. When it comes to my team, as you can see, Carson Wentz, Mark Ingram, Leonard Fournette, Jakeem Grant, Tyreek Hill, Zach Ertz, Kenyon Drake, Justin Tucker, and the Baltimore Ravens defense. So, pretty much a Ravens heavy type of lineup. I mean, I didn't really pick a Ravens receiver, but when it came to Mark Ingram, Justin Tucker, and Baltimore's defense, I really was relying on the matchup because he had the Cardinals week 2, and not really the best showing from Gooseneck. He's more of a 2K guy, so I really wanted to play the matchup there and hope I could cash in on that. We'll see how that turned out. But let's move on to Mally Rojo and Fallen. Both of them kind of, as you can see, have similar teams. I think they have two people that are different, and that's pretty much the quarterback and the flex. Running backs are the same: Saquon Barkley, Devontae Freeman. Wide receivers, same thing: Antonio Brown, Jakeem Grant. Then you take a look at their kicker and defense: Aldrick Rosas and New York Giants. So pretty much the same teams from both of them. I actually, when I was putting it in, I kind of double checked, and I checked 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh, they got pretty much the same team. But the two changes for them: Russell Wilson with Mally Rojo, Patrick Mahomes for Fallen, Zach Ertz for Fallen. Adam Thielen for Fallen, and Alvin Kamara for Mally Rojo. So a little Saints love there. So let's see if I was able to help him out a bit. I think I was this week. But let's go ahead and take a look at the results. So we got the results here. I ended up in first place with 160 points. Mally Rojo in second, and Fallen in third. As you can see, the lack of diversity between them two, pretty much having the same team, they kind of ended up in the same spot. And I luckily had guys that panned out for me. So it really helped me that they kind of had the same team, because if they mixed it up, maybe it would have been a little closer. But since it was pretty much the same, their scores were pretty similar. I think the big one was Alvin Kamara from Mally Rojo and Adam Thielen. Kamara had a good game that week, Thielen not so much. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you this segment. This part of the report in this segment will be the winner pick'ems. I was doing Is Nefarious fantasy pick'ems. I was just doing my team, but I decided we'll do whoever wins that week. We'll break it down to see who got what and how they ended up with the amount of points they did. Carson Wentz, we're going to start with 8 points. Not the greatest game from a quarterback. You wish to get a lot more out of them, but 8 points, not too bad. Especially in a run-heavy league, so you don't really. Quarterback's a tough play. Whenever you're doing the Premier Madden League fantasy, it's a really tough play. Running back, we got Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram's a safe pick. King of My Craft really started off slow, but he really knows how to use Mark Ingram. I think every week he has a good amount of points. So he's a safe play. If you don't have any breakout plays or somebody that you think is going to be a sleeper, it's always safe to go with the Mark Ingram. Sorry about that. And then we got Leonard Fournette, running back out of Jacksonville. As you can see, he led my team with points, and that's why he's pictured at the bottom right-hand corner. 36 and a half points. Really good, really good game from him. This is when the old Jags user had him, Wyatt. Really started to come around and use Leonard Fournette at his full potential before he left the league over the trade situation. But Leonard Fournette it was a beast this week, 36 and a half points. Wide receiver, Jakeem Grant. Jakeem is pretty much a really safe pick, especially with Cookie Boy, who loves to use him. He used them a lot in week 1. He even said on his series, if you haven't watched it, that Jakeem Grant's probably going to be a focal point of the team, especially in season 1. So Jakeem Grant every week is a good pick. Very speedy guy, somebody that gets open for him. So very safe pick. Even Leonard Fournette before the change was a safe pick, but now that Chums is using him, you really don't know what you're gonna get yet. I don't think Chums is used to the Jaguars. Give him a little time. Once he gets used to him, maybe we'll have Leonard Fournette back up there as a safe pick. Tyreek Hill, another safe pick. High-end offense over there in Kansas City. King Mike using them, so you know Tyreek's gonna get his points either way. 25 and a half points, pretty good game. And then you got Zach Ertz, the tight end. Really rough game, only 2.4 points. I know it looks like 24, but there is a little decimal in there. 2.4 points. Really wish to get a lot more out of the tight end position, but you know it is what it is. If you're gonna miss anyway, you want to miss in tight end and quarterback. You don't want to miss in flex, where I did with Kenyon Drake. Thought Kenyon Drake was going to be used a little more, not so much. Only 9.2 points. Definitely a bad game when it comes to the flex position. You want to get a wide receiver or a running back that really puts up good points. Kenyon Drake really failed me on this one. Then I went with the Baltimore kicker, Justin Tucker. 9 points is pretty much an average for a kicker. Can't do no wrong. At least he didn't get under 5 points. Usually 7 and 9. That's a good one. Over 10, you're really picking like 12, 13. That's a high-end game from a kicker in this league so far. Baltimore Ravens defense, 19 points. That's about average in this league. Usually they're up over 25, I believe. A lot of sacks, turnovers, and things like that. A lot of defensive touchdowns. So a lot of high-scoring defenses. Baltimore got me 19. As I said, I think I said it, but the matchup was inviting with the Arizona Cardinals. So Justin Tucker, Mark Ingram, and Baltimore Ravens were all picks just because of the matchup. And a couple of them panned out for me. I mean, Justin Tucker, he's the best kicker in the game. So, I mean, that's the one position you don't really think about. But Mark Ingram, Baltimore Ravens, they panned out for me this week. So week to week, I'll probably be playing matchups and seeing who would be the best choice instead of playing the high-end name like Odell, like guys like that. If it's a good matchup, then I'll play it. If not, I probably won't. But that led me to get 160 points. Leonard Fournette was the key to that team. So I thank him pretty much for that win. If I got a running back that got like 8 points or something like that, then maybe it would have been a lot closer. Let's dive into the player of the week, the fantasy player of the week. We got Peyton Barber here, 178 yards for 17.8 points, 5 TDs for 30 points. Gave a total of 45.8, and I know 17.8 plus 30 equals 47.8. I will show you exactly what happened. when we break down the team of the week. But Peyton Barber, congrats to him. Not really somebody you expect. I actually thought you would probably go with Ronald Jones at this point, but Peyton Barber, hell of a game, and he's our Week 2 Fantasy Player of the Week. Let's go ahead and dive into the team of the week, and we're going to start with the quarterback position. We have Marcus Mariota, a pretty much dual threat type of guy, mainly with his legs, not so much his arms. As you can see there, with 138 passing yards, 0 passing TDs, 1 interception, 156 yards rushing, and 2 TDs. As you can see, all the points came pretty much from the running of the ball, not so much his throwing. He only got 5 points for his yardage, 5.5 points for his yardage. No TDs, so you didn't get any points there, and then a -2 for that interception he threw. Rushing yards, I have 15.8 there, but it's 15.6, and then 12 points from those two touchdowns, so 31.12 points. That seems about average. That seems about best so far in this league. Haven't seen a quarterback really get into the high 30s yet. Every quarterback, the high-end ones are pretty much in the low 30s, high 20s range, and then an average game is about 22, 23 from a quarterback in this league. But Marcus Mariota is a surprise here for us, the fantasy team of the week quarterback. Let's go ahead and go into Peyton Barber, our player of the week, and also the team of the week running back. As you can see, the 178 yards, as I showed before, the 5 rushing touchdowns, and you can see where he lost those 2 points in that one fumble he had in the game. Lost 2 points. Usually you minus 2 points for a fumble if the defense recovers, but since I'm not gonna go back and watch every game to see if somebody actually recovered a fumble, any fumble from an offensive player is going to count as a fumble recovery. The only time a fumble recovery matters is with the defense. They actually have that stat in the stat sheet of each game, so I'll be able to record that and see if they recovered it. But the only time you really run into trouble, like let's say if there was 2 fumbles in the game, one from Peyton Barber, one for Mike Evans. One was recovered by the defense, the other one wasn't. You don't know which one was recovered. So I decided, any fumble from an offensive player is -2, and any recovery from defense is +2. So that's pretty much how we're gonna roll with that. And his one fumble actually lost him a couple points, but didn't hurt him when it came to the player of the week. He actually kind of won that by a landslide. There was really nobody else as far as a different position. I think Kerryon Johnson had a really good week this week. I'd have to go back. I can't remember. I've been doing so much recently. But there was one that was like low 40s that was really close. Let's go ahead and go into the wide receiver. We got Mohamed Sanu Sr. Mohamed Sanu, as you could see here, 5 receptions, 121 yards, and 3 receiving TDs. So the 5 points from the receiving yards, 12.1 from 5 points from the receptions, 12.1 from the receiving yards, and then the 3 TDs got him 18 points, which ended in a total of 35.1. So you could see, a big key to most of these guys is the touchdowns, especially rushing or receiving. Passing touchdowns from quarterbacks only get you 4 points, but anybody that really gets multiple touchdowns in a week, they're usually favorites to, pretty much take it. You never really see somebody that takes it off of yardage and receptions. It's really those touchdowns that do them in. But Mohamed Sanu Sr., he's been the leading receiver for the Falcons, and it looks like it's gonna continue. Here in Week 5, he's the leading receiver still, and we'll see. I might be playing him this week, so we'll see in Week 5. We're gonna move on to the tight end position. So right here we have a surprise in Josh Oliver, the Jacksonville Jaguars tight end. Um, he's a rookie this year, 6'5", 250, a big boy, pretty athletic too. He's got good speed. I'll probably show him real quick. But let's go over stats first. 6 receptions for 6 points. You got 116 yards for 11.6. One receiving TD. He ended up with a total of 23.6 points, which is a good game from a tight end. Tight ends, I haven't seen anyone break 25, so usually 23 is a good game. Not really a lot of points from tight ends in this league. Let's go ahead and now move to the defense. As far as the kicker, uh, we did not do the kicker this week. I don't think I'm gonna do the kicker ever again. I mean, the kicker really doesn't matter. If you guys want to know, it was Kiami Fairbane or Fairbarn. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it was him again. He had about 15 points, so he was he would be on the team of the week. But I don't really like kickers, and kickers don't matter. Let's go to defense though. You see Kansas City Chiefs defense. I have the newly acquired Frank Clark. There he had 3 sacks that game. He was all over the place, but as you can see here, points against only 13, which gave him a total of 4 points. 8 sacks, point per sack, so you get 8 points from that. 5 interceptions, you get 2 points per interception, so 10 points from that. The fumble recovery, as I said, +2. And then you got 2 defensive slash special teams TDs. So kick returns and punt returns count as touchdowns to the defense. There were none this game for the Chiefs. Both of them were off either an interception or a fumble recovery. But they got 12 points from that, and they ended up with a total of 34. So a really good game by the Chiefs defense. I actually believe I would have to go into last week's video, but I believe they were the week 1 team of the week defense as well. So Big Mike over there is doing great things with that team, not only offensively but defensively as well. And before I wrap this up, I actually want to take a look at Josh Oliver here. So you got Josh Oliver. As you can see, he is a rookie. Normal development, so that kind of sucks. But you know, he is a big boy. Very athletic. 85 speed, 86 acceleration. Good injury too, so you don't have to worry about him getting injured too much. Trying to see his agility. Did I totally miss that? I don't see it here, but pretty athletic. I mean, definitely a vertical threat when it comes to tight ends. They got pretty good tight ends throughout. I mean, not the best of the best, but all got pretty good speed. But I think Josh Oliver would be a great development piece if you are the Jaguars. I mean, I might trade for him. Like, Josh Oliver looks like a great cornerstone of the offense if you like tight end play. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this fantasy report. Um, you know, week 2's wrapped up. Well, it's long gone, but you know, I'm trying to get these all out to you, and hopefully you enjoy it. But for now, over and out, and I'll see you in